My name is Harper Quinn, and at 32 years old, I finally let go of chasing validation from those who raised me, but never truly saw me. It wasn't a big explosion of arguments or a heartfelt farewell under stormy skies. It crept in softly, like mist rolling over the hills, one ordinary Wednesday as I inked an intricate vine design onto a customer's arm. Now, in my Seattle studio, I stand amid the world I've crafted from scratch, without their input or their shadows. Morning light filters through tall panes, splashing warm hues over my drawings scattered across the desk. My lavender locks shimmer faintly as I organize pigments for the afternoon sessions. The walls burst with my hallmark motifs, graceful ivy twisting around forgotten stones, blooming wildflowers pushing through cracks, and ancient herbs rendered eternal in bold strokes. These are the signatures that have built my name and filled my calendar months ahead. My hands, forever marked by faint color residues that soap can't erase, flip through the schedule book. 12 years ago, I left behind Massachusetts, stifling expectations for Washington's untamed landscapes. 12 years since I shattered the Quinn family template and began forging my path alone. The difference between this lively haven and the unyielding home of my youth is night and day. In Brookline, Massachusetts, the spacious Victorian that sheltered the Quinns stood as a beacon of propriety. The grass was always clipped to perfection, bushes shaped uniformly, and garden plots flowering in harmonious shades sanctioned by the local committee. Chaos had no place there, everything was controlled. Dad, never anything casual like Pops, always Dad, Edward Quinn, had forged his corporate law firm on image and prestige. His custom suits mirrored his flawless public facade, and his firm grip sealed deals with clients who admired his neatly groomed, graying temples and unwavering stare. Over meals, he'd share lessons on perception as if they were gospel truths. Image is everything, he'd declare, slicing his steak into even portions, and the Quinn legacy is priceless. Mom Victoria to acquaintances, Mrs. Quinn to the rest, led 4 community boards, and masterminded the yearly fundraiser ball. Her agenda overflowed with engagements, each chosen to preserve or boost our status. She glided through gatherings with rehearsed poise, her diamond earrings swaying as she chuckled at unfunny quips from folks she quietly loathed. "Perceptions count, Harper," she murmured once, gripping my wrist at a neighborhood soiree when I eyed an extra pastry. "Eyes are on us always." My siblings rounded out the ideal picture. Ethan and Mason, the prized boys with elite educations plotted from infancy. Ethan shone in oratory and headed to Princeton for law. Mason, the numbers whiz, amassed awards like medals and ended up at Stanford for finance. Their successes decorated the shelves and fueled Dad's tales at social clubs. I was the imperfection in their flawless scene, the girl who probed too deeply and strayed beyond boundaries in every sense. While Mom picked my outfits for weekly gatherings and Dad charted my route to a suitable university, I envisioned shades they couldn't comprehend. The Quinn household operated on an invisible doctrine. Choices, from holiday spots to morning meals, filtered through the lens of external opinion. How will this reflect on us? It reverberated through the rooms, echoing off spotless surfaces, where grime never lingered because Mom forbade it. The moment I first grasped my role in their pecking order came at age 11. After persistent pleas, I'd persuaded Mom to get me a washable dye kit, just a subtle blue highlight that would fade quickly. I did it alone, excitement buzzing as the hue took hold in my auburn strands. It felt magical, a tiny act of defiance wrapped in one streak. I rushed downstairs, thrilled to display it before Ethan's middle school award ceremony. Dad glanced up from his tablet, his face morphing from indifference to revulsion instantly. "No way," he snapped, tone icy as winter wind. "Remove that right now." "But it's temporary," I begged. "Gone by the weekend, I mean it." His device flicked back up, a barrier rising. We're heading out soon for Ethan's event. You won't come like that. Edward, Mom cut in softly. Folks will wonder about her absence. Say she's under the weather, maybe a cold. He didn't budge. Preferable to them viewing her as some rebel. I stood rooted in the foyer, his dismissal wrapping around me like chains. Not the sorrow of skipping the fancy dinner, but how effortlessly I was sidelined to protect their facade. That night, I perched in my room with a leftover plate Mom had set out before they left. From my window, I spied them at the adjacent family's porch, stopping en route to the venue. They shared laughs, Dad's palm on Ethan's back in pride. Mom's gestures lively, Mason grinning at a remark. They appeared whole without me. Polished, ideal. I touched the pain, observing my kin thrive in my absence, and a quiet change stirred within. The yearning for their nod started to shift, less frantic, more accepting. I saw their affection demanded standards I couldn't reach, guidelines I might never grasp. As the blue faded under scrubs in the sink, a spark of self-reliance sprouted in my spirit. It took time to flourish, but in that isolation, peering at joy through distant glows, I started realizing true kinship shouldn't demand flawlessness for inclusion. I didn't yet know I'd have to assemble it myself, far from that grand Victorian on Elm Avenue. My initial personal art pad was a basic bound notebook from the corner store, bought with gift cash from Grandma. I stashed it under my bed frame, retrieving it only when privacy was assured and the house hushed. With markers arrayed on my blanket like scattered petals, I birthed realms they'd never fathom. By 15, my digits showed constant proof of my hidden world. Charcoal smears, pigment spots that lingered, rough patches from clutching tools fiercely. Mom spotted it during a formal lunch, her brows lifting toward her elegant updo. Goodness, Harper, your fingers are a mess. She handed a cloth delicately, as if my marks could contaminate her polished tips. What would Reverend Hayes say seeing you at the teen meeting like this? I stayed silent, rubbing at the red chalk until my skin burned. What I couldn't convey was those stains were emblems of triumph, signs of the soul dialogues where I expressed freely. My thoughts were routinely muted at Quinn meals. Opinions labeled improper or defiant. Inquiries dismissed with Dad's classic, end of story. So I communicated via strokes and hues, my illustrations forming the phrases I withheld. In solitude, amid concealed pads, I fashioned cosmos, dreamlike vistas with floating rivers and shifting skies. Figures of bold women with fierce stares and flowing tresses, patterns echoing the storm inside me. Each leaf was a stand for freedom, a silent uprising under their roof. The autumn after turning 17, I stumbled on a digital creative hub online. Heart pounding, I digitized and shared my debut piece. A portrait of myself woven into blooming thorns, a lone dove on my arm, titled Bound. As the family slumbered, I checked back to discover responses from global strangers. This resonates deeply. Your shading is masterful. It captures my essence. I covered my mouth to stifle a sob. At last, visibility. Not as the dutiful Quinn offspring in starched attire and neat braids, but as authentic Harper, untamed, eager, overflowing with unspoken tales. That evening sparked my split existence. Outward Harper kept decent scores, attended required outings, agreed when expected. Inward Harper honed a unique flair, blending natural forms with dreamlike elements, each work expanding like roots, seeking nourishment after shadows. Creativity wasn't mere pastime or gift, it anchored my sense of self when all else felt imposed. Through those pages, I unearthed my core beneath the Quinn polish. The university talk unfolded predictably, over a planned supper in my final high school term. Dad timed it for after the main course, sliding a Cornell pamphlet by my dish. I've chatted with Robert Klein, he stated, naming his old dorm mate now on Cornell's panel. He'll ensure your file gets priority, even with your... He trailed, hunting for tact. Variable scholastic record. Mom glowed over her barely touched pie. Finance suits you, Harper, so adaptable, and Cornell's grounds are stunning in autumn. My brothers shared smug looks. The system churned as intended. Another Quinn slotted into place. Unbeknownst to them, I'd submitted to 8 design programs nationwide, sold custom graphics virtually for months, amassed funds in a personal account at a distant branch, and had my collection critiqued positively by pros who deemed my vision marketable. I accepted the pamphlet with a nod, allowing their assumption of compliance. Meanwhile, my genuine apps sailed digitally to evaluators focused on talent alone. The Pacific Northwest Institute of Art letter landed on a Friday in March. I snatched it from the post before arrivals, palms sweaty rereading the acceptance and full tuition grant based on submissions. For 5 days, it hid in my drawer, pulled out nightly for reassurance. On Sunday, with Dad buoyant from a case victory, I laid it by his tea. He scanned it, disbelief turning to fury, like gathering thunder. "What's this rubbish?" "My admission," I said, voice firmer than anticipated. "Classes start fall." Mom grabbed it, shock widening her gaze. "Seattle, Design Academy." She uttered it like curses. "Harper, we've planned Cornell." I didn't apply, I cut in, a rarity. "Unnecessary now." Dad's mug clattered. "Ridiculous. We're not funding doodling across the continent." I'd foreseen this, practiced internally. "Fine. The scholarship covers it. I've saved for extras." Decision set. Chaos ensued. Dad's roar startled birds outside. Mom's sobs of disloyalty. Brothers peeked from halls at Harper Queen a pending order. Yet I stayed composed, as if detached. Their barbs, once shattering, now glanced off defenses from covert creativity and virtual praise. Next day, I secured a train ticket to Seattle. 4 days' journey, stops in Chicago and Minneapolis. Time to molt old layers for renewal in Pacific rains. Packing was deliberate. 1 case of essentials, basics, reads. My art case held prime sketches, device drives of digital files, all vital in 2 packs. No theatrical exits marred leaving. Dad departed wordlessly for office. Mom nursed a migraine upstairs. Brothers absent. The home echoed unusually as I descended stairs last time. Outside, early blooms dotted the tidy yard. At driveway's end, I glanced back at the Victorian, 17 years of feudal quests within. Blank facades revealed naught of inner strife. The train chugged from Brookline's neat lanes, bearing me to self-made horizons. Through streaked glass, childhood faded around curves. The chest constriction lifelong shadow loosened per mile. First, I picked art over acclaim. Path ahead uncertain, challenging, but wholly mine. Seattle embraced me like kin-eyed mist. Mist blanketed the sound daily, cloaking the city in gentle haze unlike Brookline's rigid air. Here, pierced vendors served executives sans judgment. Instructors with body art taught timeless methods. The metropolis thrummed with options, expanding my breath. "You're restrained," Professor Ellis noted in initial review, finger on my pad. Her sleeves hid Celtic knots. "These nature renders show skill, but where's your essence?" The query shook me. My place. After years compressing to fit narrow slots I barely knew. Roommate Riley pulled me to her to ink parlor weekend after, calling it Institute Initiation. The shop scented of clean promise. Walls flashed anchors to ethereal swirls. "What'll it be?" queried artist Sierra, her asymmetric bob silver streaked. I revealed my refined sketch, a lone thistle stalk climbing my wrist. "Tough yet lovely," I said. "Blooms amid adversity." Sierra grinned. "Got it perfectly." The buzz stung, eyes watering, but I embraced it. Each mark reclaimed ground. My form, my pick, my lasting claim to liberty. Monday, I sported sleeveless top first since arrival. Professor Ellis spotted ink, appraising professionally. "Progress?" She gnawed this in creations. Barriers crumbled. Pads filled with flora fusing accuracy and feeling. Hemlock and foxglove, dual-natured like me, poison or cure by use. Teachers lingered at my spot. Work chosen for campus display, then downtown eatery show. Calls home shortened, rarer. How's accounting? Dad queried, holding myth I'd switch majors. Enlightening, I'd say, blending tones for leaf vein studies. Dean Patterson halted me post-junior assessments. Quinn, your plant depictions excel. Thought of botanical science track. Botany depth seeks your precision. Commissions covered housing built pro folder. I mounted first payment stub over desk, evidence passion paid, countering family forecasts. Dad's holiday note, still room to shift to practical studies. I placed it behind deboot published diagram in botany text, dueling worlds on wall. Seattle Post, grad beckoned, where forests met city edges, lichen reclaimed ruins, and verdant lines studio sought apprentice for Flora Inks. Owner Brooke Lawson reviewed portfolio 40 minutes. Your flow is outstanding. Grasping growth, light, seeking twists, that's innate. She pointed my thistle ink. You get skin as medium. I'll teach mechanics. Apprenticeship, endless mopping, sanitizing, drafting for minimal pay. But absorbing skin tension for crisp lines, needle angles for textures, hearing tales from those bearing souls and flesh. Why orchids? I asked a man in 50s wanting purple clusters on chest. Grandmother's garden, he shared. Lost her young, but scent brings her back. Want her close forever. Eyes dampened. Clients carried narratives pre-ink. Grad masking cuts with daisies. Survivor reclaiming with magnolias. Bereaved weaving spouses script into tribute. Not mere patrons, bonds trusting me with wounds, men's changes. I offered heaven for openness, absent in my upbringing. 3 years apprentice, my designs cued. 5 years, Brooks summoned. Expanding location, she said. Need reliable for Maine. Papers pushed. 60-40 start me majority. Reassess yearly. At 26, part owner of acclaimed parlor. Signing day, I rang home after hiatus. Own business share. I told mom, phrasing careful. Tone lifted. What type, dear? Profitable, esteemed in niche, I evaded. Dad'll approve your sensible turn, she warmed. Perhaps channel drawing to calendars or proper items. I permitted her illusion. Reality would disappoint, and I ceased craving unreachable praise. Apartment overflowed with greenery, sunlight. Body gathered more marks. A portable meadow. Verdant lines flourished, spotlighted in journals. Reserved far ahead. Then cream envelope arrived, mom's elegant script. Ethan's nuptials to Sophia Harrington of Newton, at Holy Trinity, club reception after. Note inside Harper, join us for Ethan's day. Neutral tones, covered arms ideal, natural hair for pics please. The pang returned. 8 years crafting life, career esteem yet deemed liability, still urged to conceal self. Brooke saw me eyeing invite at break. Trouble. Kin stuff, I said passing note. Welcome if I masquerade. Browse up. Your call, query lingered days. Tempted to show full, lavender locks, inks bare, in emerald velvet find. Or compromise for harmony. Ticket bought, velvet packed over beige requests, staff covered shifts. Sweater for service, shed at party, gown sparkling. Mom's strained grin spoke volumes on entry, back seating arranged, dear. Photos, behind Aunt Clara maybe. She's statuesque, half concessions yet erased, placed obscurely, framed crop able, labeled as daughter out west, no biz mention. Pattern clear, welcome conditional on reduction. Flight home, clouds below, vow whispered. Next milestone my way, my turf, with lovers of Holme, for inks and hues, not despite. Year on, fresh invite Tuesday, elegant stock gold scripted. Mason wedding Olivia, surgeon in cashmere mom adored, fingered edges for warmth and formality. Card dropped, venue enforces code, no visible marks. Prepare thus, words blurred, not eager reunion. Mirror alert my being clashed event. Rain-streaked window pondering. Could sleeve in summer swelter. Layer concealers hiding evolution. Twist to fit once more. Can attend, texted Mason. Best to you both, call instant. Harper, my wedding. Understand, I said even. Venue rules exclude me. Cover one day, he pressed. Family. Eyed, blooming, inks up arm, milestones from escape. Unwilling now, silence heavy with demands. Gatherings war zones identity foe. First cover for holidays. then skip jewelry for feasts. Invites laced specifics. Parents sad, he said. Often are, I replied, hung up. Invites tapered year after. Holidays, graduations, dad's milestone bash. Omissions shouted. Edited from Sauga, event by event. Facebook pics from unknown soirees. Parents vow renewal. Clan getaway erased fully. Last hit via Aunt Clara call, peacemaker tone. Harper dear. Lily's vows next month. Lily young cousin shadowing me with crayons once. Issue is, she went on, concern you'd sway youth. Inks, choices. Groom's kin conservative, so perhaps best if absent. I completed, tart familiarity. Love you all, she rushed. Occasions have standards. Window view client admiring fresh sleeve, thumbs up beaming ownership. Aunt Clara. No more worries. Skipping all forever. Her sputters faded as dawn broke. They viewed me as taint, issue to handle, flaw to veil. That night, final note to parents. Not pleading comprehension, defending paths, just closing rejection volume. Finger paused on send, flashbacks surging, muted meals, dismissed art, vacant photo spots. Reply days later, dad's line agree it's wise. 6 terms severed inerte, not agony, but ease like dropping load-born ages. Chased nod from unwilling, cycle not my fault, but release. As seasons turned, Seattle held me in eclectic cafes, midnight chats over tea. Riley, cellist with blue-tipped raven hair, pulled me to exhibit opening first month. New blood, she teased, arm-linked introducing all. Theo, sculptor with warm gaze and collused palms from welding, shared prime drawing spots. Sage, weaving tapestries from recycled threads, aided apartment hunt with ideal east light. No demands for rationale, no entry terms. Thanksgiving neared, braced for void. Riley messaged misfit feast here. Bring non-toxic, 20-packed Riley's attic. Theo with casseroles, grandma telling tall tales. Sage's wired turkey centerpiece. Band jammed festive tunes, lyrics hilarious. Amid dyed locks, inked flesh, volume and care. Acceptance of flaws, kinship true. No shrink requests, no ink hides, no whispers on views. Christmas, fresh rites. Tree-adorned handmade ornaments. Swap of crafted or thrifted gifts. Meal melding heritage dishes, flavor mosaic of histories. They honored parts blood kin erased. Inquired ink sans demand cover. Hung my work sans hobby label, in loft with beams and views, among elect, grasped. Kin not born, found. Constructed. Selected. I select them. First meeting Nolan Reed occurred drizzly Friday at Cascade Gallery fall event, 5 months post-holidays. Beside my recent canvas, elaborate arm ink design transferred. He neared, lens strap over shoulder, droplets in ebony waves. Depth here striking, he noted, closer inspecting light play. Raw truth captured, uncommon. Eyes followed contours, sincere regard evident. No showy praise, quiet acknowledgement. Nolan, he extended hand. Chronicle Fringe Society's Northwest. Harper Quinn I clasped. Permanent expressions matching inner to outer. Laugh rich, open. Finest ink summary heard. Crowd swirled, talk meandered influences to beliefs. Nolan's shots highlighted edge dwellers, eco-villages, green pioneers, hidden creators, those liberated rejecting norms. Lights dimmed closing, coffee invite. Streets gleamed post, rain under lamps to nearby spot. Ink draw, he queried, mug warm. Shared trek Massachusetts to Seattle, liberty in enduring marks on consenting. Listened fully, gaze fixed. Kin, query suspended. Crafted mine, honest, blood east pondering error. Nodded, insight crossing. Chosen bonds nurture over chance biology. Talk extended past closing, art eras, self-politics built circles. Unlike prior dates, edited tales with Nolan unfiltered. Walk to vehicle, hand brushed mine. Most captivating in work, he soft against dark. Share your canvas narrates tales most conceal lifetime, finger along vine sleeve. Bravery invisibility, observation weighted, not skill admiration but purpose recognition, authenticity commitment costing first kin but granting self. Agreed repeat before parting. Months, bond grew collaborative. Nolan shot sessions for Peace on Female Ink Innovators. I crafted banner his show on alt groups. Flowed effortlessly, sans past friction, no defenses, apologies for drives or hours. Invited studio anniversary, arrived early setup, lingered cleanup, chosen kin, Leela. Theo from parlor, sage upstairs, old Professor Langley. Welcomed open. Blends, Leela noted post depart, leaning frame. No trial, no navigate, belongs. Noted contrast past partners treating circle hurdles not embrace. Nolan wove seamlessly, fresh loaves Sundays, recalling brews unprompted, stark vis blood kin rejecting dates, dad quizzing ambitions, mom manners scrutiny, siblings ignoring. Nolan joined openings showcases, steadfast, captured process, inspiration frustrations, June Award win, his face first applause. Radiant, whispered after, hair tuck. Joyful, I said, truth startling, suits you, forehead kiss. Foundation mutual aid true welcome. Honored creative retreats, boundaries sans offense. Adapted his quiet phases sans personal take. Anniversary 1 Nolan proposed coast escape. Cabin over ocean, pains catching wave crash. Day tide pools, stone hunts, back sunset horizon blaze. Nolan fidgety, camera idle. Gift, he said, stars emerging, wood box floral carved. Heart raced placing in hand, inside silver band, design known. Weed cracking pavement, debut ink at 20, marking Massachusetts leave. First show that mark, voice even emotion, said resilience, grace from struggle. Nodded, speech fled. See that daily, continued. Not despite history, because growth. Box from shakes. Life loving true you Harper. Stories, scars, evolutions. Band moonlit between. Marry me, lifetime chase vanished. Man seeing fully, inks choices. Dreams, offering celebration not mere tolerance. Yes, whisper then bold, yes. Ring slid symbol gentle skin grasped bloodkin failed provide. Love unconditional, sans act. Kiss sealed as surf pounded, reshaping shore echo transform. With Nolan, no battle scene valued. Existed free and hold. Starlit, future planned respect, partnership, love sans hides. First since Massachusetts, home holy. Engagement to Nolan sans boards. Random Monday realizing indispensable. Emerald vintage ring on, new life with him. Family notify final trial post Massachusetts build. Sure share. Nolan queried circles shoulder bed. Could post announce. Shook head, calm. Last shot. Offer chance see me. Morning email coffee steady. Nolan, I engaged. Small Seattle right October. Welcome join chapter. Hover 3 breaths. Send whoosh ordinary for signal east. Ember hope, thought doused. Perhaps event bridge who am. Wanted. Mom hours reply precise. Meet him pre-bless. Visit Brookline soon dad bottom grats. Subdue for shots. Screen stare. Await sting. Clarity cooled, unchanged. Years away, still fixable, conditional approve. No tears. Resolve. Want meet told Nolan evening tablet email. Assess. Jaw tight dad query. Your want, pressure weeks. Mom rang attire ideas, soft shades clash hair, hope natural pre-write. Dad mailed kin photo classic specialist. Aid funds mom third call, control suite. Means traditions. Never me inclusive. Request Brookline visit evaluate Nolan, judgment bear. Like interview, paste apartment. Suitable spouse quiz. Can handle soft, but your call full. Stopped, simple strike, mine not theirs. Never seen whisper, 32 years. Perhaps no deserve life view suggested, truth clear, not vengeance guard. Don't want there, said relief instant. No wedding away to prove criticize. No scan disapproves, brace remarks look. Crossed, hands took, our day way. Planning shifted minefield to joy, flowers smile based. Venue park overlook urban green us. Right honored path. Text shaped, tunes carried tough, vows wine nights, parents, Leela coffee weekly concern real, regret absence. Years regret lacking needed. Done now. Chosen rallied decision full. Theo Isle offer. Leela plan aid order my chaos. Nolan parents rang honor welcome inks lavender all. Wedding battlefield to liberty symbol. Day present chosen, not miss absent. Lifted connection authentic, not obligation. Grasped kin not audition. Built choice-wise, see clear love anyway. Wedding first new create. Celebrate not pretend, always beneath others expect, free. My name Harper Quinn, today wed man loves exact me. repurposed mill by Puget glows lanterns mirror water, stars below above. October Seattle crisp breeze leaf scent promise open doors. Space once machinery storage now cradles life true celebration. Ready? Leela asks Bloom adjust braid. Hands steady ink years precise. Mirror turn. Brick prop. Reflection unlike girlhood pads Massachusetts. Lavender flows shoulders bare. Gown back open spine ink self-design. Tail my. Words curve vertebrae vine script. More answer. Bead waist fingers. 30, 2 years make. Music shifts. Not mom insist march. Acoustic meet Nolan dance song. Cue. Azel's solo choice. Not lack giver years reclaim. Faces turn. Chosen here. Creators work mind galleries. Patrons my art skin. Friends space hold change. Eyes approve sands perform pretense. Nolan waits crane wire art friends. Ice wide tears form. This man beauty eye unexpected. Sees complete. Everything whisper reach. Efficient Theo gallery we first show. Smiles guests. Gather witness not start. Recognize exist bond. Public-private devotion Harper Nolan. Build creative honest courage self-full. Vows no obey serve. Pledge accept evolve. Authentic seasons free create sans judge. Promise never ask shrink comfort. Nolan steady tears. Wild why love. Speak voice rafters no tremble. Promise side not behind before. Choose open eyes full heart not complete. Celebrate complete. Lauder genuine. Fumble ring near drop planks. No horror gasp. Theo quips. Artist hands ink precise. Jewel clumsy chuckles knowing. Kiss seal. Cheers shake beams. Something settle chest. Certainty since Seattle train nothing determination portfolio. Belonging feels. Reception flows. Space transform bulbs illuminate stations local favorites. No seats assign. Stuffy serve converse die formal. Groups fluid, plates knee, glasses gesture stories. Wall Kai mentor Seattle arrive, station small marks, simple symbols day. Line quick, laughs wins needle. Dad faint sight, jokes Professor Vaughn drove San Francisco, wine gesture station. Part why love admit, watch Nolan cousin tiny wave ankle. Though stop decide horrify family years ago. Opposite wall Nolan photos not wedding pro. City Seattle. Artist Intimate Studios Series Renewal. People Inks. Image Pair Story Body Art. My Central. Back Camera. Spine Ink Visible. Profile Gold Light. Created Remarkable. Theo Elbow Appetizers Plate. Not just marriage. Gaze Room Diverse Chosen Kin. Art Surround. Celebrate Air Unburden Pretense. Wanted Right True. Told Not Perform. Accomplished. Shoulder Squeeze. Drift Guests. Night deepens, Nolan finds dessert, arms waist. Feel Mrs. Reed, murmur ear. Turn embrace, eyes meet. Still Harper Quinn, you Nolan Reed, 2 whole chews each. Smile wide, wooden other. Celebration early hours. No watch check, early slip excuse. Artist dreamers truth understand moments value. Leave Pearl apartment cheeks ache smile, feet dance. 2 weeks, doorbell lazy Sunday kitchen sort photos. Intrusive, Nolan rises pad door, creak open, silence unnatural pulls stool. Entry past threshold, dad older, shoulders suit stoop. Mom purse knuckle white, diamonds place. Behind Ethan Mason awkward, eyes avoid. Harper dad name odd tongue years silence. Nolan side arm protective waist. Gold band light catch. Enter, mom brittle polite. Hesitate brief, nod. File living eclectic furniture wall art out place. Why here? Ask arrange stiff sofa chairs. Dad throat clear. Got this. Holds clip Oregonian local weddings photo right. Via Portland link acquaintance. Congrats, Mason week. Dad glance sharp. Discuss conduct. Dad continue ignore. No humiliate learn wedding strangers. Questions why absent. Mom forward. Miller's girl online saw. Asked Victoria Bridge Club. Speaks explain all, social shame justify appear years quiet. Expect invite ask curious genuine. Family. Mom word wait irrefutable. R. Nolan quiet beside. No embarrass. Mom rise slight. Daughter look you. Live this? Exclude own wedding. Words air. Crystal 30 years conditional love single clear moment. Thank say surprise all self. Pardon dad brows draw. Thank confirm always new. Voice steady. Hand Nolan firm. Not upset Miss Weno missed. Stand Nolan rise. Move door open depart invite clear. Built life surround love who am, not want be. Tell I each member. Worth celebrate. Leave stiff tight, no hug promise touch. Door click soft freedom sound. Nolan arms footsteps fade hall. Okay. Forehead shoulder breathy deep. Yes say mean. Finally am. Ink needle buzz Jordan skin. Vibration connect beyond words. Wince's slight trace outline phoenix. Rising ashes resemble broken chains. First ink 41. Mother said tattoos no ambition folk. Jordan whisper pause wipe ink. Believed decades. Nod understand current like. Mine said desperate ones. Here we, Jordan laugh, shoulders ease. Wrong much. 4 months wedding. 4 wake Nolan sans anxiety not. Wonder day earn approve. 4 process sketch journals. Poor decades reject pages hold pain sends judge. Studio quiet hours. Created more art. Built insight. Stroke entry recognize family view rebellion survival. Dyed locks inks refuse shrink. Not weapons shields craft protect. Almost tell Jordan tools down clean peace gentle. Look. Jordan joy gasp feeds soul hungry. Perfect, whisper touch skin round new ink reverent. Exact imagine feel. No not just Phoenix. Evening lock studio phone buzz number recognized despite months quiet. Mason, brother middle. Talk, meet sometime? Hands slight tremble show message Nolan kitchen table. Reach his fingers steady warm palm. Want do. Voice neutral. Support sends direct. Don't know admit, stare 7 words wait decades. Part ignore, other, trace table grain, curious. 3 days, sit across Mason Cafe midway suburbs downtown. Age surprise, lines eyes not Christmas 2 years, stood silent dad cut remarks lifestyle unfortunate. Look well, heart childhood Nick cautious test ice lake. Thanks, reply neither cold warm wait. Mason mug wrap, knuckles white, Hannah expect say final, 5 months. Congrats, offer mean despite, make think, family. Look up eyes direct, kind want build. Cafe noise fade Mason speak words never expect. Sorry voice crack slight, not defend you, prioritize dad approve over feel, pretend not see hurt. Sit still fear move breaks spell enable moment. Hannah I talk raised child continue keep think you, never want kid feel you must, earn belong. Apology not perfect, not erase years complicit. But genuine. Recognize courage reach chasm family create. Not ask forgive immediate, Mason add quick. Want no try understand. Like no sister again real, not version dad want. Talk 2 hours. Set boundaries, future tie. No criticize appear, no suggest career. No expect conform Quinn mold. Not seek validate anymore. Tell prepare leave. Open reconnect but authentic terms. Mason nod understand dawn eyes like mine. Fair. Hesitate add dad Ethan never around. No. Say surprise little hurt now. Their choice. Walk home profound shift realize. Reconcile not forget harm pretend never. Mutual respect, courage begin different. Invite arrive Tuesday early spring, cream envelope cousin Ava distinct hand. Inside, formal presence request marriage Benjamin Hayes, note personal. Harper, want their exact you, lavender inks all. Always bravest us. Love, A. Trace words fingertip, remember Ava quiet cousin watch, observe dynamic thoughtful eyes. Never close, younger compliant, invite feel recognition. Go. Nolan ask evening dinner prepare together, move small kitchen sink rhythm know each. Chop veggies precise. Think so. Tap board not forgive, closure. Beside you, promise, temple kiss. 2 months, arrive historic brick chapel generations Quinn milestones. Hair fresh lavender vibrant simple dress elegance. Nolan hands steady back small enter. Reactions expect. Aunt Beatrice eyes wide shock turn quick. Uncle George greet stiff polite, gaze never meet. Parents front near shoulders rigid, neither turn whispers announce arrive. But surprises. Cousin Nathan embrace warm. Time back, genuine pleasure. Ava rush pre, right gown hug fierce. Thanks come whisper, means all. Realize moment true. Not battle prove, gather connect blood history. Some never accept, others learn try. Difference now, neither define. Reception catch mom watch room across. Moment regret flash face look away. Not speak, bridges uncross. But Mason introduce Hannah pride voice. Sister artist, say, title no mock. Drive home night, exhaust peace, head passenger window rest. No need love anymore, tell Nolan, revelation settle blessing. No longer define exclude. Next morning journal, words feel circle full. Family not DNA, people never ask shrink. 7 months later, verdant lines collective grown beyond dream wild. Solo studio now house 4 ad artists, each bring heal journey work collective, space more parlor, community gather art accept intertwine. Start mentor young artists face family struggles similar. 3 weeks ago, establish verdant fund art students estrange families, fund portion studio profit. Sometimes marvel symmetry perfect. Once reject different too, now celebrate difference vary. Qualities family suppress become strength greatest, offering valuable world. Morning, new client sit nervous consult chair. 60s widow recent, hairstyle long deny partner. Not sure brave this. Confess show small rose design ankle want. Smile recognize courage is. Ever choose peace over approve. Ask gentle. Eyes meet understand bloom us. Everyday life answer. Already brave tell tools prepare transform work. Begin. In the weeks that followed my conversation with Mason, I found myself reflecting on other moments from my past that I hadn't fully unpacked before. There was the time in high school when I entered an art contest without telling anyone at home. I'd spent nights perfecting a piece that depicted a bird breaking free from a gilded cage, its wings splashed with vibrant colors against a backdrop of muted grays. When I won third place and the local paper featured it, Mom clipped the article but never displayed it. Instead, she tucked it away in a drawer, saying it was nice but not something to broadcast, as it might give people the wrong idea about our priorities. Education first, she'd reminded me, as if my creativity was a distraction rather than a lifeline. That memory surfaced during a late night session with a client named Alex, a teenager just out of high school who wanted a similar symbol of escape, a key unlocking a chain. As I worked on the design, Alex shared how their parents had thrown out their sketchbooks, calling art a waste. I paused the needle, meeting their eyes. Mine hid mine under the bed, I said. But look at me now, those hidden drawings led here. Alex's shoulders relaxed, and we talked for hours after about turning pain into purpose. It was conversations like these that made the studio feel like more than a business. It was a refuge where stories intertwined, healing one line at a time. Expanding the collective meant hiring artists who shared that vision. I interviewed dozens before settling on Mia, a quiet watercolor specialist who'd fled a conservative hometown in the Midwest, and Jordan. Wait, no, that's the client. Let's say Kai returned as a full-timer, his bold geometric styles complementing my organic flows. We held weekly meetings where we'd share techniques, but more importantly, personal wins and struggles. One evening, after closing, Maya opened up about a recent call from her sister, the first in years, echoing my experience with Mason. It sparked a group discussion on boundaries, and by the end, we were all sketching collaborative pieces, symbols of resilience that we'd later offer as flash designs for charity events. These additions weren't just about growing the business, they deepened the sense of community, turning the studio into a living, breathing extension of the chosen family I'd built. Nolan and I took a spontaneous road trip that summer, driving up the coast to explore hidden beaches and forgotten trails. It was during one sunset picnic, waves lapping at our feet, that he turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "You've changed since that call with your brother," he observed. "Not drastically, but there's a lightness now." I nodded, tossing a pebble into the foam. It's like I've reclaimed pieces of myself I didn't know were still missing. We talked about incorporating more of that into our home. Perhaps starting a small garden on the balcony, or hosting art nights for friends. Those trips became our way of nurturing the relationship, away from the studio's bustle. reminding us why we'd chosen each other amid life's chaos. Back in the city, the scholarship fund gained traction. Our first recipient was a young painter named Sam, estranged from their family after coming out. When Sam visited the studio to thank us, they brought a canvas they'd created. An abstract swirl of colors representing rebirth. We hung it in the waiting area, and it sparked stories from clients waiting their turn. One woman, getting her first tattoo at 45 after a divorce, said it reminded her of her own journey. By the end of the day, we'd decided to make the wall a rotating gallery for scholarship artists, turning the space into an even greater hub of inspiration. As fall approached, I received an unexpected package from Ava, a small box containing a pressed flower from her wedding bouquet, with a note saying it symbolized the strength she'd always admired in me. It was a quiet gesture, but it moved me to tears. I framed it beside my workstation, a reminder that connections could evolve, even from distance. Meanwhile, the studio hosted its first workshop series, teaching basic drawing to those interested in tattoos but hesitant to commit. One participant, a retired teacher named Evelyn, shared during a session how she'd always wanted to draw but was told it was frivolous by her late husband. By the workshop's end, she designed a simple leaf pattern and booked her first ink appointment. Moments like these reinforced why I'd walked away from the Quinn expectations. To create spaces where others could bloom without fear. Winter brought holidays, and for the first time, Mason and Hannah joined our misfit gathering. It was tentative at first, with awkward small talk over appetizers, but as the evening unfolded with games and stories, barriers softened. Hannah, rubbing her growing belly, asked about my tattoos, genuinely curious rather than judgmental. I shared the story of my first one, and Mason admitted he'd never understood until now how much they meant. It wasn't a full reconciliation with the whole family, but it was a start, a bridge built on mutual effort rather than obligation. Nolan squeezed my hand under the table, his silent support a constant anchor. In the new year, the collective partnered with a local gallery for a joint exhibition, showcasing tattoos as wearable art alongside canvases. My piece, a large-scale mural of intertwined roots forming human figures, drew crowds and even a feature in a national art magazine. The article highlighted my journey from rejection to empowerment, and while I didn't name my family, the themes resonated with readers who flooded our inbox with similar stories. One email from a young woman in the East Coast mirrored my own past so closely that I responded personally, offering advice on building independence through creativity. These interactions became part of my routine, turning personal healing into broader impact. Spring ushered in more changes. Nolan surprised me with plans for a home studio addition, a small room off our apartment for my personal projects. We spent weekends painting walls in soft greens and installing shelves for supplies. It was during one of those afternoons, paint splattered on our clothes, that I realized how far I'd come. No longer the girl begging for scraps of approval, but a woman surrounded by love that flowed freely. The space became my sanctuary for experimental work, like fusing digital art with traditional inks, leading to a new line of custom designs that sold out quickly. As the anniversary of my wedding approached, we hosted a small gathering, not a formal party, but a casual evening with our circle. Theo brought his latest sculpture, a twisted metal tree symbolizing growth, and placed it in our living room as a gift. Stories flowed late into the night, from hilarious mishaps at the studio to deeper reflections on chosen paths. Mason attended virtually, sharing updates on the baby, and for the first time, it felt like threads of old and new were weaving together without force. Summer brought a major commission, a series of botanical murals for a new wellness center. The project took me back to my roots in nature, inspired art, but with a twist incorporating client stories into the designs. One wall featured vines representing resilience, drawn from interviews with the center's staff. It was grueling work, long hours on ladders, but fulfilling in ways my family could never understand. Nolan documented the process, his photos capturing the transformation from blank walls to vibrant life. The unveiling drew local press, and in the crowd, I spotted a familiar face. Ava in town for a conference. We hugged and she whispered how proud she was, a quiet affirmation that meant more than any grand gesture. Through it all, the studio thrived. We expanded hours to include evening drop-ins for consultations, attracting a diverse crowd from night shift workers to insomniac artists. One such visitor was a musician named Leo who wanted lyrics from his songs turned into visual motifs. As we collaborated, he shared how music had been his escape from a disapproving home, much like art for me. The resulting tattoo, a melody line morphing into birds in flight, became one of my favorites, and Leo performed at our next charity event, blending sound and visuals in a memorable night. These expansions weren't without challenges. A slow month tested our finances, but the team rallied, offering discounted sessions and community classes to keep momentum. It reminded me of early apprenticeship days, sweeping floors while dreaming big, and strengthened our bond as a collective. By fall, we'd bounced back stronger, with a waiting list stretching into the new year. Personal growth continued too. I started therapy, unpacking layers of family dynamics I'd only skimmed before. Sessions revealed patterns I'd internalized, like doubting my worth during quiet times. With Nolan's encouragement, I worked through them, emerging more grounded. Our relationship deepened, with small rituals like morning coffees where we'd share dreams, literal and aspirational. One led to planning a collaborative book, his photos paired with my designs and client narratives, a testament to transformation. As winter set in again, news came that Mason and Hannah had welcomed their baby, a girl named Eliza. The photo he sent showed a tiny bundle, and his message read, "Can't wait for her to meet her aunt, the one who taught me about being true to yourself." It was a full circle moment, not erasing the past but building atop it. I visited a few months later, holding Eliza and feeling a tentative hope for this new generation. Back home, the studio hosted a holiday drive for art supplies to local shelters, collecting enough to stock several programs. Clients contributed designs, turning it into a collaborative effort that warmed the season. Reflecting on the year, I sketched a new self-portrait, not caged or bound, but flourishing amid a garden of diverse blooms, each representing a connection I'd chosen or mended. It hung in our home, a daily reminder of the journey. Life wasn't perfect, doubts crept in during quiet moments, echoes of old rejections, but now I had tools, art, love, community, to face them. The girl who'd left Massachusetts with a suitcase and dreams had become a woman who no longer needed approval to thrive. She created it for herself, and in doing so, for others too.